Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video, I wanted to take a look at my build for Zenkai Trunks. So, for a lot of you who don't know, I am a huge Trunks fan. As anyone who's been watching my channel for a while will tell you, I'm an avid supporter of Trunks. And I'm actually starting to really enjoy the Trunks team that I've built. And one of the nice new components for that team is Super Saiyan Trunks. Now, Super Saiyan Trunks team, I guess that doesn't clarify too much, but he's a red unit, a standard sparking unit that recently got a Zenkai. But I actually find him to be pretty good in competitive PvP. Now, he's not a game buster by any means, but the lack of really proper blue cards outside of Janemba and the GT Goku, who have very, I don't want to say complex, but very left field teams, the advent and rising of the green Ultra Gohan, who's kind of making blues obsolete, even though there is now purple Frieza to try and counter him, means that realistically there's not a huge blue meta, which means Trunks is actually managing to thrive. And considering that there's a decent chunk of yellow units that need a little bit of countering, I'm actually finding Trunks to be really good. Now let's discuss a little bit about his kit and everything that's involved. But essentially he's got increased arts card draw speed, which is fantastic. He has strike damage inflicted upgrades, Now the big thing with him is he has damage inflicted upgrades against regen category units, which is very solid actually in this current meta. You've got Cell, you've got Janemba, you've got Baby, all of who exist on a regen category, and so Trunks does see some versatility out of that. Obviously it won't last forever. The meta won't always have regen centric figureheads, but it does help out quite a bit, and I think it is something that's adding into Trunks's value. On top of that, he has a lot of element nullification, which is a very useful ability nowadays due to the amount of endurance that's floating around in the PvP meta. On top of that, his green card is actually really good, allowing him to kind of combo into abilities really nicely, and of course restoring his vanishing gauge, which means that it's actually a very solid ability to set yourself up for combo or to break yourself out of the enemy's combo and set yourself up to manage the game a bit better, because you'll be able to obviously combo into them, set yourself up, get your vanishing gauge refreshed, and then you're able to essentially go again with battling your opponent, which is honestly a really solid ability. And then of course, speaking of which, Heat Dome Attack is a really nice special, cancelling enemy upgrades and buffs, and also nullifying unfavorable element factors, which means you can do some decent damage with it, even to a blue character. Now, Trunks, I like his kit a lot. Equips, pretty solid stuff. Melee Trunkses tend to have a lot of equips. It's not a type of unit that struggles for equips. We've got, I think, like 8 melee Trunkses, and they can all use very similar equipment. So that's a very good starting point. Of course, it just makes it a little bit more tangible, a little bit easier to obviously use Trunks. But aside from that, he's a very good unit. His Zenkai boost as well for Red Hybrid Saiyans is also quite helpful. Red Hybrid Saiyans, it has quite a few notable units. Trunks himself, Legends Limited Gohan, Super Saiyan 2, we have Legends Limited Beast Gohan, we have the Ultimate Gohan from the same movie, we have Pan, so there's tons of Red Hybrid Saiyans that benefit from his Zenkai boost as well. So even if you're just kind of looking to use him as a Zenkai boost, or you're looking to Zenkai boost him, you have quite a few solid red options. Now, Trunks, obviously, not going to say is limited, but is limited to a certain extent, because he is still a sparking general banner unit that's being used in a meta that's defined by Legends Limited characters and by Ultra characters. So for Trunks, obviously there's a ton of value in assessing him and saying, okay, well, Trunks does a lot of really good things. Trunks really can set himself up for some good damage. He can help to control the game with his green card, and he's got good tempo interruption against the opposition. However, is Trunks going to give you more than what a Legends Limited character will give you? It's very difficult to say. Legends Limited characters now also have the added bonus, on top of everything else, of them being able to boost each other stat-wise. So Legends Limited characters are kind of starting to really be quite prominent in terms of their own individual boosting by giving each other those stat buffs. So it's a very, very noticeable thing. On top of that as well, Ultra units have very powerful gimmicks that essentially are far more powerful than like simple sparking unit mechanics. Like Ultra Goku, Ultra Gohan, they just have gimmicks and mechanics that essentially, I'm not going to say are preventing them from losing to a sparking character, but just are not, they're not going to result in them getting dominated by one, at least for the most part. So it is difficult for sparking units to kind of shine in the current meta the way it is. I think it's very hard for sparking units to turn around and generate competitive PvP performances because people are so focused on ultras and focused on Legends Limited characters, and it leaves a very minimal room because of the decreased stats. But with that being said, I actually genuinely find his Zenkai to be one of the most usable ones I've seen in a long time, and I genuinely find that he is a good unit. I've been using him quite a bit at the back end of last season, and I started this season using him, and I really liked his kit. There are times where you can get caught out, of course, and he can kind of get taken out by a blue unit, but generally speaking, his level of damage is honestly just something that I find to be very, very good. I just enjoy it a lot, and for me, it's just a question of his damage being something that I think warrants bringing him as a slightly squishier option. I'm not saying he's going to be the best unit in the game. I'm not even saying he should replace any hybrid Saiyan Reds. I think Pan, I think Beast Gohan, I think they're quite good. But if you're looking for a red and you're more Future Saga orientated, or you are lacking Beast Gohan or Pan, and you've got this Trunks lying around, then if you can Zenkai him, and give him a try. Yeah,